All right. And we are back, folks. Yay. Yeah, a little crazy. Things happen, technical difficulties. It was a really weird thing that happened right there. Don't know why it happened, but hopefully you guys are able to find us back where we're at now. We're still rocking and rolling. Um, I'm going to wait until I see some people start popping back in before I put the matchup screen back on. Just want to make sure it's triggering something. But hopefully that took care of it. I only hear one of me. I don't hear the echo anymore.
No, I think we're back on.
Okay, cool. There we go. All right. So let me just see this. Yep. Okay, we look good. Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. Sweet. Hey, Kareem's in the building. What up, Kareem? Good to see you, my guy. Hope you're doing well. All right. So what we were doing is we were in the middle of looking at the player matchups between the Knicks and the Hawks. We were just talking about Jalen Brunson versus McCollum. I'll put that back on the screen as we transition into the second matchup for the shooting guard. Shout out to Kerry Cox in the building. What up, Kerry? Good to see you. Here we go. All right. Add that to the stage. There we go. All right. So this was and we pretty much already talked about this matchup, right?
No, I would say we should give our points, but I was saying my points, but I believe.
Yeah, nobody heard me. I was Max Hedges.
No
I was in the Matrix. So
something crazy.
Yeah, you were talking about the matchup and who you favored in the matchup and just how it looked. So continue where you left off, John, if you remember.
No, I think I was passing it on to you, but I was saying earlier that as long as the Knicks keep McCollum underneath his season average, I think we'll be in good shape. He has the ability to go off from time to time. This is the playoffs, so I'm sure he's going to be, primed and ready to, make a mark. We just got to keep him under the season average.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. That's definitely, I think, the case. Personally, I like Jalen Brunson in this matchup. I think this favors him. Although, unfortunately, the Hawks are probably going to be switching Dyson Daniels on Jalen to slow him down. So, yeah, but I like where this is going. But as we saw in that game where McCollum almost hit that game tying three, if he had a couple more seconds, it would have been tied. You just can't take him for granted. And we talked about how special, savvy, he's a veteran, a lot of experience. So. And some people, that's the thing about the NBA and all sports, anything in life, really, as time goes by, people forget how good or how talented, how special people were. And, as John brought up in his prime in Portland, I mean, CJ McCollum was a bad man.
He's a bucket.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, we can't underestimate his importance. Let's get to the next matchup. So that's Josh Hart versus Nikhil Walker-Alexander. And obviously this is going to be an interesting matchup. You got Josh Hart averaging 12 points per game. Nikhil Alexander Walker with 20.8. Very, very solid basketball player. 7.4 rebounds for Josh. That's his specialty. 3.4 for Nikhil Walker, or NWA. 4.8 assists for Josh, 3.7 for Nikhil, 50.8% from the field for Josh. Josh has been fantastic from the field. Yeah. He has a great layup package. He always gets to the rim with aggressiveness and hits most of his shots. Nikhil was at 45.9. And then here's the surprising one that no one could have thought. Like, if you had told me
career year,
I'll bet you $100 that Josh Hart, with the finger wearing a splint all year, is going to shoot over 40% from three. I'm like, are you kidding me? And he's at 41% from three. That is nuts. And 39.9 for Nikhil. 72% from the free throw line for Josh, and then 90% from the free throw line for Nikhil. So that's what makes him really special. Guys like that can score at that clip, averaging 20 points, shooting 45% from the field, almost 40. Well, he's basically at 40% from three, and he's shooting 90% from the free throw line. That's a tough guard right there.
Yeah. And this is going to be a prime example of how are the Knicks going to adjust from the game prior, right? We just seen this team play. NWA had a great game. He was, lighting us up. We didn't have an answer for him. So I'm assuming that coming into this playoff game, we're going to have him on the radar. Like, I think he's going to be one of the prime suspects to make sure that we slow down and keep, different bodies on, making sure that he doesn't go off for another, 20 plus. I think he was like at close to 30 plus, right, in that last game that we played them.
Yeah.
We got to make sure we slow him down. And I think applying a little bit of pressure to his ball handling is also going to be extremely helpful, making sure to get the ball off his hands and fronting him, so he just being able to, come off the screens for that, to receive the basketball, I think is important. Just make it very troublesome when he gets the ball in his hands. You want to, throw some different looks at him. Maybe even throw a couple of double teams if he gets it going early. And then hopefully gets him off his game. You know what I mean? I think the big thing is that he has youth on his side, which is a benefit to us. You know what I mean? And young players don't necessarily do well with pressure. So, we'll see.
Yep, I agree. Definitely going to be a matchup to watch. And we'll Josh is going to have his hands full just dealing with this guy, let alone trying to help out with anybody else. And also rebounding the way, we're used to seeing him rebound. We'll see how it all plays out. Let's get to the next matchup. And that is Mikal Bridges versus Dyson Daniels, right? Mikal averaging 14.4, which is not bad, but if you know how how Mikal got to this point, it's been a really bad. It's been a down year for Mikal. There's no other way around it. Points per game for Dyson Daniels. To me, when I saw 11.9, like 12 points per game, I was actually shocked. I don't really consider Dyson Daniels adding that much value offensively, but the fact that he's almost at 12, he's at 12 points per game I'm like, okay, he contributes something. Rebounds 3.8 for Mikal. That's not a strong suit. 6.8 for Dyson Daniels. That was interesting to see.
Yeah. A lot of offensive rebounds too. I'm sure that's where he makes his living.
Yeah. 3.7 assists for Mikal. 5.9, almost 6 for Dyson Daniels.
Everything's at the basket.
I'm kind of surprised. Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. These are putbacks. These are around the basket type shots, being aggressive on the offensive end, offensive rebounding, and getting a lot of putbacks.
Yeah.
Easy buckets that way is where his field goal percentage is going.
Very true. And then
3-point, he doesn't shoot them.
No, 3 points he doesn't. He's terrible. 18.8%. Obviously, even in Mikal's struggles, he's still like way better than the Dyson Daniels that's shooting the three. And then from the free throw line, 82.7 from Mikal, but that's almost like a invalid number because he never gets to the line. And then 61.5 for Dyson Daniels. He's never been a really good free throw shooter, but still 61.5. You take that over some of the stuff we get from like Mitch, for example, from the line. But it is what it is.
Yeah, you know what? It's interesting. I actually see more of Hart being on Daniels and Daniels being on Brunson than I do. I think Bridges might be again,
on McCollum. Yeah, I think that's how it's going to play out too.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. This is the position by position matchup, but I think you're definitely 100% right. That's what's going to be the real matchup. Dyson on Brunson and Mikal on McCollum. I think that's how it's going to work. So, honestly, if I were just looking at this matchup and saying who is the player who would have the edge, it would be Dyson Daniels. I mean, he's better defensively than McCall has been all season, consistently wise. But that doesn't mean that that's the McCall we're going to get. Because, I have this feeling I'm going to give McCall all the credit in the world. I believe he is a big moment guy, and I believe he's going to be the right place, right time, McCall Bridges again. I think the playoff
McCall, huh?
Playoff McCall, brother. I feel it. It's happening. It's going to happen. So we'll see where we're at, man. We'll see. All right. The next matchup. This is going to be an exciting one. OG Anunoby versus Jalen Johnson. First off, OG Anunoby's been fantastic all year, especially down the stretch. You would have hoped that OG could have been as good as he's been in the last 2 months all season, and his numbers would reflect it. But they don't, because he had a full season of playing different. He wasn't necessarily the way he's playing now wasn't how he was playing earlier. So he's averaging 16.7 points, and just I just want to do it. I'm going to do it straight down like this for these two guys, because Jalen Johnson's numbers just are crazy. Every time I see them, I can't believe it. So 16.7 points for OG, 5.2 rebounds, 2.2 assists, 48.4% from the field, 38.6 from three. He's been very solid from three, 82.8 from the free throw line. And not for nothing, I don't think OG gets a lot of credit. He has been in position to make some very clutch free throws in games, and he has come through. So I want to give OG credit for knocking down very important free throws when it mattered. Shout out to him for that. And then when you look at Jalen Johnson, 22.5 points, 10.3 rebounds, 7.9 assists, 48.9 from the field, 35% from three, and 78.8 from the free throw line. I mean, this kid is a monster. I every time I look at his numbers, I can't believe he's this good. He's very
all-star. He's all-star this year. So I mean, it's been all-star numbers the entire season. He's played up to his potential. Not everyone, sought him out to be this type of player, but kudos to the Atlanta Hawks for realizing that they had some gold here and were willing to part ways with Trae Young because of it.
No, I mean, that's a fact. That's a fact. And I think, what I also think, this is what happens in life and in sports. Injuries can be your downfall, right? And that always takes place. Sometimes it doesn't affect teams, or players on teams that much, but in this case it did. A team sees, wow, Trae's been hurt a lot, and we're actually winning when he's not on the floor. That's the kiss of death right there.
Yep. So it happens often, more times than people, perceive it to be.
We've seen it happen a couple different times with really big players, like with Trae, with John Morant,
Anthony Davis.
Even another person, but this was going back a little bit, a couple years before he was with the Knicks. Even when Luka went out, the Dallas Mavericks didn't miss a beat when Brunson was in there for them. So
that is so true.
It's you start to see that stuff happening.
Right. This is one of the reasons why Jason Tatum was in such a hurry to get back, because his team was.
You see, there was definitely a need because Jaylen Brown was cooking.
Yeah, but also the team, right? And
like not only were they playing well, Jalen was playing fantastic. I mean, some people have Jaylen Brown in MVP consideration.
Correct.
So
good reason.
Yeah. So this particular matchup, do you give an edge to anybody, or do you think this is just one of those where
I'm hoping that this is going to be a wash? However, Jalen Johnson, this is his coming out party, right? So expect him to have the ball in his hands often. I think the offense is going to be, it's going to go where he goes. And I see them feeding him the rock, him putting up some shots. We have to do a really good job of denying him the ball, from jump. And I think OG is going to do a lot of that, and any kind of switches, they're really going to be, this is their number one target, I would say. And then, NWA will be number two.
Yeah. I hear you. All right, let's go to the last and final matchup. And this one is kind of surprising to me too. Karl Anthony Towns versus Onyeka Okongwu. So the thing about Okongwu is he is actually in, which kind of as once again these things like Hawks have been kind of when you look at it. I said something about the Hawks a couple years ago. I felt like the Hawks had a good team, but I felt like they had too many of the same players. And when you look at it now, it makes a lot of sense. Like they had Jalen Johnson, they had the other dude that they traded to the Cavaliers, Hunter. They had Herder. They had another dude. I'm like, you guys got too many of the same guys. Then bigs, they had Clint Capella. They had Okongwu. They had another dude. I'm like, these guys are all similar. It's like too many of the same thing. And I don't think because of that, I don't think people are able to shine. Now, like Clint Capella was a double-double machine, but he was a low double-double machine. Then you got Okongwu being the starter. He's averaging 15 points per game. I'm like, I didn't even think he was giving them that much. Very surprising stuff to me. 15 points per game, 7.6 rebounds, 3.1 assists, shooting 48% from the field, 37% from three. And here's the one that I always like, I just look back with a smile. A big man shooting 75% from the free throw line. Isn't that nice? What's that like on a regular basis from all your big men? But anyway, then you got Cat. Obviously, Cat had so now Cat's numbers are a little bit of a with an asterisk because you guys all know Cat struggled for like 2 months of the season. Then All-Star break hit. He goes to the All-Star game. He comes back and he starts playing like Cat again. So I really look at his numbers like they should have been higher, but we'll take them. They are what they are. 20.1 points per game, 11.9, basically 12 rebounds a game, 3 assists a game, 50.1% from the field, 36.8 from the three-point line, which is one of his lowest marks in years from three, which kind of just shows you. But if you look at the second half of the season, that number is a lot closer to 40%. And so it just, you got to look at it with a grain of salt. And then 85.8% from the free throw line. Fantastic from that.
Just wish he would get to the line more.
Right.
But
100%. Yeah. And instead of initiating fouls or creating his own fouls that he's responsible for, drawing more. Right. Yeah.
But I'm gonna lean towards Karl Anthony Towns as having, he's gonna have to be a monster in this game. He's gonna have to be a monster this entire series. He has to play like the true big that he could potentially be. Not to say that he, not saying that he shouldn't be shooting a three. I think it's a part of his game. He should shoot it, but I think he needs to be a presence down low. I think he needs to be a presence on the offensive and defensive boards. And you know what I mean? And on the help side, I think he needs to, show his presence and show his presence early, understanding that, on the block, there's no one on that team who can handle him 15, closer to the basket, I should say. You know what I mean? Like, I would say free throw line and below, he should be able to dominate there. Now, if he gets the ball, at the 3-point line and makes a couple of moves to get downhill, then so be it. I do want to see him in a lot more, pick actions and a lot of, where they do those screens and those rollover screens where they're like sort of hiding the offensive player rolling back cutting. I want to see him involved in a lot more of those sets. So we'll see how that goes, man. But I'm definitely leaning towards Karl Anthony Towns being, the man for this run against the Hawks for sure.
Yeah. No, I agree. So just looking at this, obviously I have to give the edge to Cat, and I expect that he's going to be very important in this series. But you can't shortchange Okongwu. He's going to be very interesting, especially when there's the offset when Cat is sitting and Okongwu is going up against Mitchell Robinson. That's going to be a very interesting battle as well. Can't wait, man. Very excited. So John,
the one thing is that the one thing the Hawks have in their favor is their ability to get up and down the court. Right? That to me is sort of where they're gonna excel at. Being able to get the ball out in front and get into some fast break action forcing us to get back on defense and trying to stop their transition offense. So I think that's we got to do a very, very good job of doing, making sure they don't get out on fast breaks. So, let's see how we hold up defensively, as well as, recovering from the 3-point line, like getting out to those shooters. You know what I mean? Which has been obvious, an obvious, Achilles heel for us this year. You know what I mean? And, hopefully, we can clean that up. Everybody knows what their assignments are going to be. So that's important to say and to note. We're also going, there's without question, we'll have a scouting report to review, every player on, that's going to be suited up, that's going to be expected to play, knows their assignments, understands the defensive principles, and we got to show up and we got to bring it.
I agree 100%. So now that we've looked at the matchups, what do you think is the most important matchup in this series? I actually have two. I've got a 1 and a 1A. But what do you think is the most important matchup in this series? For obviously for the Knicks to win.
Yeah, I think for me the matchup is going to be how OG plays defensively against Johnson. Like how can he slow him down? Or just the Knicks in general. But I would say the OG matchup is the one that I'm looking at.
And I agree with you that's my 1A. I think that Jalen Brunson is going to be fine. I know that he is going to have some down moments, I would assume, because of the good defense on him. But I do think that he's played Atlanta enough, and the Dyson Daniels matchup, he knows it enough that even when Dyson slows him down at certain points, Jalen finds a way to get his throughout the game and at certain points. So I think Jalen is going to be very important, but I think that the matchup between Jalen Johnson and OG Anunoby is going to be huge. But my key matchup for the series is going to be Okongwu versus Karl Anthony Towns, or whoever Karl Anthony Towns faces. I think this particular series shapes up that Karl Anthony Towns is the hero. At least he should be, because he's the one, to me, that has the clear advantage that nobody on this team can really stop. So that is what I'm looking forward to. If Karl Anthony Towns comes to play and the rest of these guys do their job, the Knicks get out of this series comfortably, in my opinion. They might lose one game, but I'm thinking Knicks in 5.
There is one player that I don't think maybe he's not getting enough credit, but in my eyes can feel like he would be a serious threat to the Knicks if he get going, and that's Jonathan Kuminga.
Oh shoot! I forgot that I didn't put him in the player matchups, but I gotta. You can't forget about Kuminga. This is very true.
It's one of those things, right? Where a kid like that comes from an organization like the Warriors, and even though he sort of was outed to not being a sort of team player to a degree, this is an opportunity that he will have to showcase his talents. And just being a pest on the defensive side and offensive side, having the ability to do a lot of what Johnson does, right? And so for us, it's like we don't have the length and height on the bench to go against that, unless you're going to bring in someone like Sochan who doesn't shoot it, or Diawara, right? Who isn't as developed as a Kuminga not just yet. Yeah. But it's going to be an interesting matchup to see who we get out there on them. I think when we played them last, I think we've seen a lot of switching going around, where you've seen, Hart from time to time being on them. You even seen Mitch play him from time to time. So it's going to be interesting to see how we, mix and match, and can we get out our guys off the bench? Like, can we get Shamit and Clarkson going, Deuce going? Like, can that be a threat? Because if that is a threat, then we're a different team, right? If they can be threats out there together, we're a different team. So,
No, I agree with you. I think that's very important. You know, the good thing though is that we actually might have somebody that can help not match up. It's not a defensive thing, more of a production thing. Like they've got Kuminga and we've got Deuce. You know, Kuminga's averaging around 12 points. The shooting is kind of right around what Deuce provides. So they can basically, hopefully, it could be a wash. That's why I think that last game that the Knicks played versus Charlotte, even though they lost the game and it didn't mean anything, it was nice for Deuce to get his shot going again because he was cooking for a little bit. So that's good. We need that.
And that's what I was saying. Coming into this season, all we kept talking about early on was like, can we hold up in health? Can our health hold up enough to the point where we get to the playoffs all healthy and ready to go and rocking in all cylinders? And we were able to do that this year. You know what I mean? So surprisingly enough, you know, certain players that were nicked up got back just in time to end the season on a high note. And so banking on that everyone is going to continue to stay healthy through these playoffs. You know, and again, it's not going to be easy. I think you're calling a game five win. I think we're going to 7. I think it's going to be a hard-earned victory over the Hawks. If we get it quicker than that, if we get it in 5, I'm extremely happy for that. But I think it's going to be a back and forth series. I truly do believe that it will be.
Well, I hope you're wrong.
Yeah, I do too.
I do too. against this freaking Hawk team, but I do think it could. Listen, I think they can beat them in 6. I mean, in 5, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes 6.
Right.
I honestly, if it goes 7, I might be a little worried. I'd be more worried about the Knicks than anything else because I still think the Knicks will come out of the series. But if it has to go 7 in the first round, I'd be a little bit more concerned about them going forward because to me, it's only going to get tougher. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Shout out to Prezi the Boss. And good to see you, by the way. Says Charlotte took that 31-point whooping by Orlando. So yeah, so obviously now we know Orlando is going to be playing Detroit, which is very interesting, guys. Now don't get me wrong, we know Detroit has ran through the East and kind of made it light work, but the bottom line is a Orlando team who's also had a lot of question marks. They've always been the team that people think is going to take that next step, go to the next round.
Injured though.
Injured but right now, I just looked at their injury report. They are fully healthy.
That's what I'm saying. They just got everybody.
Yeah,
back.
So this is very. So that's the Orlando's tricky. They could be tough. Yeah,
especially if Vons gets it going.
Yeah.
Once he gets it going and he starts to lock in, you know, Banchero can do what he does best. It's going to be, you know, they're going to bring it defensively. They showed it today. They threw up a stinker. Who they lost to? They lost to, I forget what team they lost to in the knockout round. What was that? Who they lose to?
Wait, who are you talking about?
The Magic. They had lost previous to playing Charlotte because Charlotte won and the Magic had lost.
Who did the Magic lose to? I don't know.
I'll have to look it up
because I don't remember. I actually wasn't following that first game, any of the games really this week until today. So yeah, I don't even remember. Huh.
They played a different team. Let's see. Let me go check to see. Yeah, they had lost to the Sixers.
And
that was a tough game. You know, where Paolo didn't look like Paolo. You know what I mean? Like didn't play like himself.
Shout out to you, Mets. Appreciate you. Thank you for mentioning that. Shout out to Randu in the building. What up, Randu? Good to see you. Okay. Well, let's do this. So we got a little bit of time. Let's take a couple phone calls real quick. And get your thoughts on what's going on with the team. And your expectations, your excitement level, whatever. It's put up or shut up time, man. This is what we've been waiting for, guys. This is it. We here. Let's get to it. I see. Let's get it, y'all. All right. Let me turn the phone lines on. You guys can call in right now. And let me get rid of some of this stuff. I got a bunch of windows open, like 45 windows. Jeez Louise.
You got matchups for the week.
Yeah. It's crazy. All right. What's going on, caller? You are on live. SKF Weekly on a Friday, playoff edition. Let's get it. Your name and where you calling from?
It's me, Uncle Rob. It's Matt.
Hey, what's going on, Mets? How you doing, brother? First off, my condolences because you're a Met fan. So, it is what it is. We're going through it right now.
Do not remind me. I want Carlos Mendoza's neck in the news, and I want Stearns out of that GM office.
I'm sure you do. I hear you, brother. Okay, my bad. I just had to get that out from one Met fan to another. Okay, go ahead, bro.
Can you guys trade Cohen, by the way?
We like Cohen. He gives us something that we can't get everywhere. At least he's ready to spend the money.
You might need to trade him.
Stearns is willing to say F you to the players.
Well, I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff going on, man. There's a conspiracy theories about Dolan miking up the garden. There's a lot of crazy stuff happening right now. Okay. Anyway.
Got out of the Hornet Magic call. It was embarrassing because I also do Hornet games from time to time.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm worried about something off court. Oh. You heard what happened this morning on First Take, right?
No. What was it? Unless maybe I do know. Tell me about it.
Long story short, WWE wrestler Danhausen showed up, and he cursed Stephen A. Smith.
Uh-huh.
And if you play into the joke, whoever he curses, bad things happen to them.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, that'll be that. We don't need no bad juju.
I'm saying cursing Smith, that means the Knicks may be cursed by proxy.
You could be right, Mets. You could be right. There's been a lot. First off, I don't know. Look, I'm not going to lie to you, Mets. I don't want to sound like I know what I'm talking about because I don't. I'll be the first to.
You don't watch wrestling, do you?
No, I used to, but I don't watch it anymore. So I don't even when I was young, I knew when all the big event Monday Night Raw. I knew when this was happening. Saturday night, whatever. I knew when WrestleMania was coming.
Weekend.
Wait, when's WrestleMania weekend?
It's this weekend.
That's
tomorrow.
why. Okay, so of course that's why all this weird stuff is happening. I'm seeing a wrestler beat up, Cam from the Diplomats and all types of weird stuff. Like all this crazy stuff is happening. It makes sense. Okay, the rollout's happening. Okay, I get it. Okay, I got it. All right, cool. All right, Matt, continue. My bad, bro. I just needed to know what was going on.
Basically, Stephen A. was acting a bit rude to Danhausen. Telling him to leave. Danhausen misinterpreted as being obnoxious to him. So he did his little bit where he says, "You are," then pointed both his fingers at Stephen A. and said, "Curse." And whatever's going to happen, if Stephen A. plays into the joke, there's only one way to get rid of that curse. You know what it is? You have to pay a minimum of $20 human to Danhausen to get rid of it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Technically, I think it would be a curse if you're cursing a Knicks fan. But since I don't feel like Stephen A. is a Knicks fan, I think we're all good, folks.
Yeah. I'm with you there, Ron.
Let's not forget, Mets. Stephen A. is like, he is something other. Yeah, he's definitely a fair weather fan. So I'm not too worried about it. I think we're going to be just fine. And in fact, I think the Knicks win and do anything positive in spite of Stephen A. Smith. So I think we'll be just fine.
Fine. Hornets are going to need to find retooling this offseason, in my opinion. I say Knicks in 6 and to rectify their mistake in 21. But I blame that on inexperience and Thibodeau overtaxing the core, relying on Gibson and Rose for most of the series.
So, all right, that's good. I like your prediction for Knicks in 6. I can work with that. Let me ask you a quick question before you go, Mets, just because I haven't talked to you in a while. after everything that's played out, how do you feel about the Knicks now that the season is over? How do you feel about this season? Were you happy with the season? Was it a disappointment like the regular season itself with the coaching and everything, or were you like, okay, it was a decent season? How do you feel about it?
It exceeded my expectations at the very least.
Okay. All right, that's good because this season has been very controversial. There's been a lot of up and down. Knicks fans have been feeling a certain way because of Coach Brown.
I mean, if Mike Brown could take back that January, if he could take back sticking the team in that those eyesore white jerseys for a month straight, maybe things would play out differently.
I hear you. I will say that's you notice a lot of interesting things, Mets, because I noticed that the Knicks haven't been really using their city uniforms that much. Not the cream ones, the black ones. They have two.
Black ones,
they have not been using the black ones that much this year, so it was interesting. All right, yeah, it's good little observation there, Mets.
And
listen,
not to mention the fact they're changing their city connects to something new every year until something sticks.
I know.
Just stick to one thing, damn it.
As soon as I like a jersey, they wind up changing it. And then, I like this year's jersey again. So, I mean, we'll see what they do. But, hey, Mets, I want to thank you for the call. Appreciate you. It's always exciting when you give us a call, my guy. And listen, between me and you, brother, we're going to be all right. Right now, it's terrible. Like, we are the laughing stock. I don't know what's going on with that team over there in Queens.
Well, I think Lindor's rebelling at the fact he didn't get the captaincy.
Yeah, it could be.
Mendoza's being the gambling idiot that he's an incompetent gambling idiot he's always been. And Stearns is a man who will sacrifice this team on an altar of his own frugality and hatred.
You're not wrong. And the worst part about it, Mets, is I hate when I'm right, because this offseason I said I do not like Stearns. I wasn't happy about any of the moves he made. Do I think that the Mets will be fine by the end of the season? Yes, they probably will be. But I still don't like the direction that Stearns took the team in, and I think that was the mistake that the Mets made. But we got to live with it. So it is what it is. Let's go Knicks, baby!
Well, still, when this season's over, if we tank and finish dead last, Cohen's got to get his head out of his ass and fire both these two jackasses.
Well, you may be right. Listen, man, it's Mets Unleashed tonight, folks. He's not happy, and he wants to let it be known. Let's go Mets, for real, though. All right, brother.
Putting Stearns and Mendoza under the gun, so be it.
Listen, it's somebody's going to have to take the fall for this, and it's usually the manager. I think Mendoza has been skating. I don't think he's a bad guy. I actually like him. I think he could be.
He holds no ability to hold these players accountable.
I agree, and so Mets, you took the words right out of my mouth, my brother. I think Mendoza is a good manager for a different team. This team has some dysfunction. We lost players because of their dysfunction in the locker room. I don't think he's the guy. We need another Buck Showalter type somewhere out there. Give us somebody
if I have to.
More importantly, trade Cohen. So you got.
You can't trade the owner.
Gotta trade him. Get him out of here. There's only room for one true spender, and he no longer exists.
Man,
he's no longer here.
Listen, I don't even know if he's a true spender anymore, because whatever the Dodgers are doing is ridiculous. So
no. I'm talking about Steinbrenner.
I know who you're talking about. I know who you mean.
So you don't think if he was still here, he wouldn't be going at it with the Dodgers?
Oh yeah, there would be a war of the money.
Of course.
Mets, thank you, my brother, for the call. Hopefully the Hornets, do some retooling next year, and hopefully our Mets get something right, and our Knicks have a long playoff run and maybe do something champion-like. Let's hope. Yeah. Let's hope. Have a good night, Mets.
Night.
Good night.
All right,
man. I'm hoping you guys trade Lindor to us, and we'll give you Volpe and all the other
people act like they're brand new. Listen, Lindor is no different than he is every other season. He's a second half player. It's just
they could give it to us though. The Knicks
think. That's what it is. Hold on, caller, you're on live. Name and where you're calling from.
I'm calling from LA. I'm formerly from Queens, New York. You're talking about the Mets, the Yankees, the Knicks, the Nets. Yes. And I'll tell you, hey, John, hey, Ryan, I'm going to tell you, all New York teams wear heavy jerseys, heavier than any jersey in all those leagues. And they are not allowed, the fans, unfortunately, I don't think it's the fans, I think it's the management. They feel they cannot build naturally normally they have to win right away in New York, and they don't allow themselves to build. When our teams won championships like the Knicks and back in the days and the Mets, and the only team that won building like they build in modern days was the Yankees. Everybody else built naturally, and they won back then in the 60s, 70s. But from the 80s on up, everybody has to win right away. And in New York, they feel they can't build what I call the right way through the draft.
Mm.
And I'm going to tell you, this series and the series coming up, if the Knicks get past Atlanta, everybody, I hope they're not looking past this team, because they did pretty good since the trading deadline. Atlanta, I don't know, what were they, 19 or something?
Mm-hmm.
They weren't a pushover.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not, it's a lot of quietness. And I like that the Knicks are not, a lot of other people are talking. The Knicks are not talking. I just hope that they're ready in themselves and they're not taking anything lightly and enjoy the adventure, the ride, and don't put that pressure on themselves and play freely.
Ah, I agree with you on that. Well, I didn't get your name, brother.
Mike Stratton. I called you before, Ron.
Oh, Mike.
You,
okay. Yeah. I was like,
you and the objective Nick.
Yeah, I knew the voice sounded familiar, but I was like, I couldn't remember. I couldn't, like, what's the name? You know, I'm bad with names anyway.
Well, hey, me too. And you guys are doing a great job, man. I've been listening and hearing all about what's going to happen, what the Knicks have set up. And I tell you, the playoffs is a beautiful thing. The truth will be told. Everything's on the table. It's a new season. And whatever you do from this point on, that's going to be history. So I hope that my friend Jalen Brunson uses his weapons and that he's not trick-bagged into Jalen Brunson against Atlanta Hawks instead of the Knicks against Atlanta Hawks.
Right.
I hope use your team. He can do that, but I sometimes I see that he gets a little tunnel vision. He gets a little. He's a warrior. He's fighting, but he has to use the rest of those guys. And when they move the ball, they can beat anybody.
I agree. I think the ball movement is definitely something that we've noticed matters a lot to this New York Knicks team. It didn't matter as much in the past, but now the way they play, you know, we're much better with the ball movement, man. It's understated. If we don't have ball movement, we're out of here. we out of here.
Yeah, and I wanted to make another point. Do you know they keep talking? I wish they'd stop bringing up this Giannis thing. Personally, the Knicks have the team they have. And Giannis is not going to make anybody better. He's not. He's had, like I said, 4 leg sprains in a year and a half. Do we want another McDyess in New York? Are we going to give all our assets up, bring this guy, and wait for him to be like the guy over in Philly, play one game on, one game off? Because he's a little older, and he did give everything he got to Milwaukee. So Milwaukee should have took the deal with Miami. They didn't do it, and we're not the fall guys or the patsies. So I hope we don't do it. I hope we stay the route and build, because, I mean, what I'm hearing constantly is this draft is a generational draft. And I see these players. I saw them in the March Madness. Oh, that was tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Knicks should invest heavily to add pieces to the team, not destroy. Add what you need, add for the future so we can match up, because they're trying to make Wemby the face of the league. And I think the NBA is going to move like that. I don't like to be, what would they call this, conspiracy theorist. But, I mean, a lot of these teams tanked and nothing was done. When the Knicks even look like they're tanking, it's all kind of sanctions and things like that. We haven't had a first-round draft pick since '85. We need fresh blood to stay with the Knicks that can break the rotation, that can get in there and contribute. And to do that, you have to move up in the draft. And what happens is
Wait,
This
hold
administration
on
seems to
one
move
second,
back in the
Mike.
draft.
When you say we haven't had a first round draft pick, you mean a number one, right?
Number one.
I mean, not a first round, excuse me, a number one.
Yeah,
We've had plenty of first round
yeah.
draft picks. Remember, J. Dove of OKC and Jalen Duren were our picks. We made those teams better because we didn't want to pay Kemba Walker $8 million.
Listen,
we made those guys better. And if we had those guys, we'd be a hell of a lot better.
I can never talk about that. I know a lot of fans can talk about it. You brought it up, and you make a lot. Everybody who brings it up makes a lot of sense. But what the bottom line is, we got Jalen Brunson. So if it wasn't for that,
it wasn't just about Jalen Brunson. We could have paid the $8 million. We could have still got Jalen Brunson. What's $8 million to a team that's worth over 11, 12 billion?
But you don't know. But you don't know that, Mike, because nothing ever plays out exactly the way you think it's going to play out. Yes, there's a chance.
Oh, that's the key. I like you said that.
That's it.
And I hope my Knicks are listening to you.
No, it's true. That listen
plays out the way we expected to play out.
100%, Mike. You can never assume that things are going to play out the way you expect them to play out.
But what would you think? What would you think if we invested finally heavily in a generational draft? This draft is supposed to be better than when LeBron and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh came out. We have an opportunity here.
I think you bring
and
up
I don't want us to give our assets away for this Giannis and his brothers to come to New York.
I think you make a good point, Mike. But what I will say is, and I know John might have a feeling about this too, because John is devil's advocate too. You know, he could see the road for Giannis, and I could see the road for Giannis too. But my road is a little different. But that doesn't mean that my road makes more sense to the Knicks. I have a bad feeling. Okay, I got sometimes you get that feeling in your gut. I've got the feeling in my gut that Giannis is coming here next season, no matter what. Whether the Knicks win or they don't win, I feel like Giannis is coming because there's little things that are starting to happen that kind of makes you think more about my comfortableness. I know this conversation is changing, and this will be probably something I dive into more tomorrow. But the James Dolan stuff that's starting to pop up now.
Oh, did you see that?
Yeah, I don't even want to deal with this right now. The playoffs have just started, and now this is when you want to bring this up. Okay. I'm like, come on, man. But it makes you think, though, if there's truth to the story, and that's how he is, and that's how he thinks, do you think that he's not in the back of his mind like, I don't want the ifs. I want the let's get it. If Giannis is the best player out there, I want Giannis on this team. I think that's how James Dolan is thinking, especially more with all this stuff coming out. So anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked. That's a conversation for tomorrow.
Okay, we're gonna stay on the playoffs, and the playoffs are going to tell the truth.
Yeah. I mean, John,
you having this show tonight is great. Just before it starts. Now, in a week or so, I hope like you said, we have a continuous conversation and we're building. Because did you see the play-ins recently? Those have been tremendous. I mean, teams have been putting it all on the table. And that's what the playoffs is about.
Right.
One and done. Oh, my God. The last week or so, those have been some hellified games.
Well, let me ask you this, Mike. But hold on. I got a question for you, but I want to get John's thought on the Giannis thing. How do you feel about the Giannis thing? Do you feel like he's – let's not even talk about whether or not it makes sense to bring him in. Do you think he's too much of a gamble, or do you feel like he's still got a lot more left in the tank to that the Knicks could make that move for?
That's John.
Yeah, John. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd
like to hear it.
Let me see. Giannis.
Because
I'm just looking up.
John is just looking up something real quick. I did want to say, when you brought up McDyess, and McDyess is really a great because I loved Antonio McDyess, and when the Knicks were
I love Antonio McDyess, but he won championships with San Antonio.
Yeah, but we also got him. We got him when he was finished. We knew he was finished, but we still went out and got him. At least with Giannis,
that's what I'm scared of. With
Giannis is still putting up some numbers, though.
Giannis, if you notice, he is continually getting injured.
No, it's true. I see it.
And I see the similarities. And we gave up Hilario, who was a 19-year-old coming out, Nene, for him and some other considerations.
Uh-huh.
And he never really played for us. He played a preseason game, got hurt, and then we traded him to San Antonio or let him walk, and then he won championships in San Antonio.
Yeah.
And he contributed. He did well coming off the bench.
Yeah. All right, let's see what John has come up with.
No, I'm just looking at his age. He's 31 right now. To say that he is on the down side of his career, saying a lot for someone who started his career at the age of 18 in the league, 19 in the league.
Yes, sir.
He's got a lot of NBA years. However, I don't necessarily know if his injuries are mostly due to wear and tear, but more so the team chemistry. You know what I mean? I'm banking on that he didn't really want to be there. And a part of this so-called injury is due to him not wanting to put extra miles for a team that isn't going to go anywhere. So I would say that yes, but with the caveat of saying if there's a way in which we can, save a few assets in order to get him, knowing that he wants to be a New York Knick, knowing that, it's sort of his primary, it's the place where he wants to come and play. So, hopefully, whatever we do decide to move on from in order to get him isn't going to sort of be to a detriment to the team. With that said, it's Giannis. I mean, he's former MVP.
I know we're saying it's Giannis, but we could do some real.
But here's the question: How can we
low-level, higher benefit moves when everybody's looking at Giannis? Because you see that deal that Miami had on the table for Giannis, we didn't have that, and they still kind of stretched that away. And I don't know what the Knicks have to do beyond giving up a future and assets for Giannis, and then pray that he does not end up in the McDice realm.
Right. The question is, when you think about building within the draft, we don't have enough current assets as it stands today to be able to capture any big names that are going to be top 10.
The Knicks have the number 31 draft pick, the first draft pick in the second round, which in this draft is a first rounder, and they have the number 24, 25 pick, right? And with cash considerations, it's a lot of teams that have draft picks and they are over the level of finance, and they will be taxed, and they may look forward to either trading or selling those draft picks, and the Knicks could get that and finally move up instead of move back. The last years, the Knicks would draft a decent player or two, trade them, and move back for other assets. And a lot of times they did that. They gave away quality players, like one of the, I forgot the gentleman's name. He has a brother in the league. He plays for Minnesota. Yeah. He's a heck of a defensive two-way forward. We drafted him before we drafted Grimes. And then we traded him for more assets. And I don't want to go into certain things that happened with Grimes and OB, but we kind of gave first-round draft picks away. We didn't get much of anything back, and we got to stop doing that. But the thing is, we have to move up in the draft for players that are going to be a part of the lineup, not to kind of develop. We have to get those types, and these types are here. If you've seen the March Madness, they were putting it on the table like NBA players. We just want to see how they would come into the NBA, and we should have the proper scouts. Well, we don't need to draft any more Frank Nitikalinas.
Right. But here's the only thing, Mike. And look, what you're saying is not wrong, because everything could be explored. Hopefully it won't be. And the reason why I say hopefully
I mean,
it won't
look
be.
at Cade. It only took Cade a year and a half. Here he is.
But Cade was a special
Cade
player.
was a special player. Yeah.
Cade was
He's a number
you know,
one.
You have a lot of special generationals that are right there.
But,
look at Giannis. Giannis.
But can we get a number one? That's the
14.
question.
I mean,
can you pull a number? Who's the number one draft pick off this college draft? Who's going to be number one?
Has been injured. Well, they say he had a lot of body cramps, and that he's going to fall in the draft. And I believe Boozer, they hyping Boozer, but Boozer doesn't have.
Boozer's not that guy. You know, Boozer's not that guy.
That he needs to be doing, he doesn't have it. The Banter is the truth. With Khalid Wilson is the truth. Khalid Wilson is a sleeper.
Well, so but here's the thing, Mike. What you're saying makes sense, right? But it only makes sense. It's a contingency thing, right? It only makes sense if the Knicks don't do what they need to do in the playoffs. If the Knicks win and win big, win it all.
Yes, that makes sense. Because if they win, they can add to the court. See, remember the Knicks when they won in the 70s, because I came after that. I never saw championships in the early 80s, late 70s. I was a kid in junior high, and I was a Knicks fan.
Right.
And they won in those days, and I've seen how they won. Funny, Golden State kind of borrowed what the Knicks did in the 70s, and this is how they played. Every man on that team was dangerous. 5 out. Whoever touched that ball, they were creative. They passed the ball. Whoever got it was dangerous. Mm-hmm. And the Knicks need to keep no more one-dimensional players. Build like that. And they built through the draft and trades. So we're going to build through a trade. We can get quality players, but you still have to add to those units with young blood coming in a homegrown blood, instead of these guys coming over sometimes and they just want to come for their brand and push themselves instead of the team. So that's the tricky part in today's NBA.
I see what you're saying, Mike.
It could be done. And it doesn't have to be a number one, but the Knicks have enough people to have it. Hello, they got enough coaches, enough people in that management. Somebody could do the research out there. Because, see, Miami seems to find diamonds in the rough.
But Miami,
no matter where they draft,
they have a great pedigree for scouting talent. The one thing that I was going to
tell you.
You
don't think the Knicks do?
I can't tell you.
No, not yet.
I can't tell you that. Here's the thing. The Mets,
I like both of you because you're being honest. No, because they haven't proven that.
The Knicks have shown that they can pick good second-round talent. You know, they've had a track record of that. But I will tell you, what you're asking for is something we don't know yet. Because honestly, and this is honest, Leon Rose and his staff of people has not shown that they can pick solid first-round talent yet.
Okay.
Because they haven't, and you know, we have not moved up in the draft. We've moved down 100 times. We've never moved up. So we don't know what we can do.
And to be honest, when we moved back, it was probably Detroit's pick to begin with. When we moved out of Duren, it was probably because we made the decision to move that trade away. And so they said they wanted Duren versus us saying we wanted Duren.
Because we could have, even with the Duren thing, we did what we did because they wanted Duren. But that wasn't our pick. Our pick was our pick. Guy. The French guy is who our guy was, and we traded him too.
No. We had J Dub. We did 2 deals with OKC because that other guard that they just traded to Milwaukee that's doing well in Milwaukee. We had him too.
You're right. Because it was 2 things that happened. One happened, and then the second happened after. You're right. But all I was saying
we had 3 first-round draft picks, guys, right up there.
Right, but Duren wasn't our pick though. Regardless, it was we made the pick for them
because we was trying to get Ivy.
Right, but we made the pick for them. So, like, to say that we could have had Duren is a sort of a misnomer.
Oh, okay, we made the pick for them.
Right.
How did we pick for them?
Well, when we made the first trade, that's when we moved back and we got the pick.
Oh, okay.
And then that pick, we already knew we were making the trade with, because, you know, obviously Dumars and Leon Rose had that communication going already.
Yeah,
so we already knew that pick was going. Dumars said, we want Duren, and that's why we took Duren for them. So, I mean, I get it. I mean, we could have did things differently.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. But you know what else? Leon Rose did build in the last couple of years a very good relationship with other teams as far as the draft. Now it's time to pull some of those relationships in. We kind of helped OKC.
OKC they have 2 first-round draft. No, they have 3 first-round. They traded one of them to Philadelphia. They have now 3 first-round draft picks, 15, 12, and maybe 19. And I don't know where they're going to put the people because they're a stacked team. Who are you going to cut?
Right. I mean, it's true. Well, look, let's do this, Mike, because this is a good discussion, but we can't really tackle it tonight. Let's table it, and we're gonna revisit. No, but this is good because I want to revisit it because this is good stuff. Let's revisit it in the future when we know a little bit more. Because my whole thing is the Knicks can go in tons of different scenarios. They could win the whole thing. They could try to keep all their players. They may not be able to keep all their players, even if we win. Yeah, right. So there's a chance where they may go for Giannis. They may pivot. They may say, "Let's try to go get Booker." Who knows? Or let's not try to get any of these guys. Let's try to trade a McCollum.
Are you saying
or
something happened with Booker tonight with Golden State?
Oh no, I didn't. What happened?
No, I didn't see the game because I know.
No. I'm not saying that.
They're playing right now. Yeah,
they lost by 31.
Oh no, that was the Charlotte game. But yeah, no, I'm just saying.
So when you said Booker, I said Booker must have lost.
No, Booker is just somebody that I always think is on the Knicks radar. They have ties.
Yeah, they love Booker. Leon Rose loves Booker.
Yeah, they do. So
I think they're on the docket right now. They're playing against.
Yeah, they're playing right now. There's a lot of different things that can happen. We don't know.
Right.
Going through the draft might be something they consider because the Knicks will do stuff like that if they feel like they're cash strapped. I mean, even look at what they did the last time around. We thought they were going to trade down and not pick anybody. They wound up picking 4 guys and adding to the team. So you never know what they'll do.
Right. And they got some talent there. Not for nothing. I mean, there's some talent there.
It's just that we haven't shown that we can get that next level talent. We got good guys.
Right.
Did you see recently Dadier?
Right.
He's playing stronger.
Who? Pacom? Stronger where?
Pacom is playing stronger.
Practice?
Diawara
in the G League?
Doing his thing all year.
No,
not in the G League. A couple of times
lot?
the Knicks had him play. He did pretty good.
In the parking lot?
He did all right. I was at the last game.
Dadier's been playing pretty good. The last couple of games the Knicks had him in.
You know, I'm hard on. I'm tough on Dadier, man.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with it. 6'8", man. You got to knock down that 3. He wide open.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, Mike, we
right.
could go on forever, man, but I just want to see if there's anybody else that wants to give a call real quick before we get off because it's getting late. But, hey, I want to thank you, Mike, as always, the support that you show for us over here, as well as the support.
Whoever's listening, get the likes up, do your thing.
Yeah, man. Thank you, brother.
John and Ron, stay blessed, and let's go Knicks.
Let's go win them.
Let's reveal the truth.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
That's right. The Wizard of Oz is over. We're going to pull the shades back now and see who's behind there. Who's the wizard or not?
We're about to.
It better be Cat. He better be that wizard.
Back there somewhere. Anyway.
Hey, take care, guys.
All right, brother. Man. So. Oh, couldn't wait. All right. I think, just for the sake of time and that it's getting late, even though it's a Friday, got other stuff going. I got to get ready for tomorrow. This will be the last call. Caller, you are on live SKF Weekly. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yo, Ron, it's Joe from AC. How we doing, man?
What up, Joe? How you doing, brother?
Yo, thanks for taking my call, man. And yo, I want to salute John, man. Yo, salute to you, John. It's my first time on the call with you, so I just want to say what's up, man.
What's going on? How are you?
Yeah,
good,
man.
Good.
Just so you know, Joe, John, like it's funny.
No, I know. Yeah, he's one of the co-founders.
Yeah, man. He's the original.
Salute, Oh, okay.
He's the original, man.
Yeah,
No. We ain't gonna do. OG. We want to be unks. We not OGs. We unks.
Hey, man. Well, you guys are having pretty good conversations. You touched on the honest, and I was talking about that yesterday. I don't know. I don't want to really dive too deep onto it. I want to talk more about the playoffs. But, yeah, man, I was on a panel with a couple of my buddies yesterday. I'm not going to do any name dropping, but, you were talking about the Atlanta Hawks game, and I was like, I got us sweeping this team. I got us blowing them out in the first game. And I got a little bit of, they coming back at me and say, yo, Joe, listen, hold it, slow it down, this team's pretty good. They got Dyson Daniels. I'm like, Dyson Daniels? Let me look this up, Dyson Daniels.
Yeah.
I go,
wait,
okay,
Joe.
let me look
Joe.
at the salaries real quick.
One second, Joe. Before you continue, don't lose your train of thought, because I don't want to keep waiting to not say this, because I want to give credit to where credit's due, and the calls keep coming in, so I feel like I can't get to it. Let me just say this real quick. Hold on 1 second.
Go for it, my man.
You know what it is. Shout out to my guy 713 Gamer. Thank you for gifting the 5 still Knicks fans membership to 5 lucky people out there. Y'all know who you are. Shout out to Randu. You are an SKF member once again. 7 Snapped. You are SKF member. Eric Horn. You are a member. First Amendment Project. I've never seen this name before, but shout out to you. You are a SKF member. And shout out to Coach Sire, who is now a SKF member. Shout out to 713 Gamer once again. Thank you for doing that and gifting the memberships to these fine folks. My bad. Continue, Joe.
No, you good, man. Yo, salute to SKF Nation, man. Yo, you guys are awesome. Throwing in those super chats, Gamer. You guys are awesome. So, but getting back to what I was saying, man. So I wanted to do a little back research. I just know what I was talking about. So I'm looking at the salaries and I go, wait a second here. This guy Dyson Daniels is making $7 million. You want me to be afraid of a guy making $7 million?
I thought he was making more.
Not according to that ESPN. He's listed as $7.7 million a year.
Interesting.
And then they got these other guys making $15 million. I think CJ McCollum is making the most. He's making $30 million on this team.
Right. Well, one thing,
because he's a vet, right?
Were you able to see the player matchups when we were running them?
No, I haven't.
I will. Hold on. Let me put this back up there for you. Hold on 1 second. Let's get.
Well, let's let our caller jump on in and choose his matchups here.
Oh yeah,
that would be good for that.
Yeah. First off, the Dyson Daniels thing right here. Dyson Daniels is averaging 12 points a game, 6.8 rebounds, 6 assists, shooting 51% from the field, and
18% from 3.
Yeah, don't look at that because he rarely takes threes. But the surprising thing is those first 3 numbers, the 12 points, almost 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. That could be a little bit of an issue for, especially you think about the production you're getting from a guy that's making $7 million. That's not bad. Not too shabby.
Well, yeah, it's not too shabby for me. I'm just saying, like that production for, it's pretty good for $7 million. I agree with you, Ron. But at the end of the day, I still would rather have Mikal Bridges.
Oh yeah. I hear you. Well, just so you
saying, Ron? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, just so you know, real quick, when you look at CJ McCollum, he's averaging almost 19 points a game, and he is a very savvy veteran. You know that what he can bring.
Yeah, he's 30 years old.
But he's savvy. He's savvy. Don't forget what the Golden State Warriors just did against the Clippers. That's them old dudes got busy. So don't throw the old dudes away.
I was looking at, Ron. I'm glad you're bringing this up because a lot of these dudes that they got on their team, these guys are like 2020 draft, 2020, 2021, 2022 draft picks. And like our guys, we got Jordan Clarkson and Cat, 2014, 2015 draft picks. Like this is a battle of the veterans versus the young bulls.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, experience wins.
Sometimes.
That's my opinion.
Sometimes it wins out.
Yeah, Walker Alexander, he's averaging 20 points a game. Man, listen, like I said, this is going to be a battle of attrition. This is whoever's got the experience is coming out on top. I see these young guys and their numbers. Yeah, it's impressive for how old they are and what they're doing. But like I said, I am not spooky in the woods, not one bit about this Hawks team, man. And I'm still going to say it, and this has been my take. The Detroit Pistons team that we beat last year in the first round is light years ahead of this Hawks team. And that's just my opinion. I don't know. You guys might disagree, but that's how I feel.
The Detroit Pistons from last year?
Yeah, versus this year's Hawks team.
That's tough, man. Because don't forget,
It's very similar.
when we played the Hawks, they were on like a winning streak. We
right?
beat them, but they were on a win streak.
I know. I remember
we
that.
beat them by a point.
Yeah, yeah. So,
1 point.
I just think that they're tough. They can be tricky. I don't want to be one of those people that acts like the Knicks are going to lose to the Hawks, because I don't feel that. But I do think the Knicks it's gonna be a battle. And if the Knicks have to play. You can't take any teams for granted, but the Knicks road throughout the East is all tough teams, right? No matter who they play, because it starts with the Hawks. It's not going to get easier. After the Hawks, you're most likely going to play Boston if you get that far. And after the Boston, you're going to wind up playing either Detroit or Orlando. This is going to be tough no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, hey, man. I mean, in this first round, I don't see the Hawks as a legitimate threat. I see this going 5 games max. We're just talented. I'm sorry, And in that second round, when we see Boston, we're already going to be prepared for that game. Mike Brown, he's done a hell of a job this year. I want to get a big ups to Mike Brown, because the way that he's coached this team, the way that we've had up and down. He said in the beginning of the season, we're going to have ups and downs. Parts of the season aren't going to go the way we want, but we got to stick together. And that's what we've been doing. And, for Mike Brown to even put Jordan Clarkson back in the lineup after he was sat before his defense, man, like, that just woke him up. And Jordan Clarkson is going to be a big piece for us in the playoffs, man. We got Jordan Clarkson coming off the bench. We got Deuce. We got Mitchell Robinson. Like you guys were talking before, these are second-round picks, second-round draft picks. And who else? We got Shamet, who could be dropping easy 3-pointers for us, man. He had that 40 bomb this season, man. I just think our bench is so much better than theirs. And I think that's going to be the make-or-break thing in this series. I mean, I know they got Okongwu, and listen, man, I just think we're way too deep. We're just way too deep.
What?
And if Mike Brown can figure out how to implement Jeremy Sohan into the rotation as well for this police playoffs, hey, man, I think the sky is the limit. So
I mean, listen, I like your optimism. I like your confidence, and I think that you're right to feel like we have a really good bench. But I will tell you, on their bench is Gabe Vincent. On their bench is Corey Kispert, and Jonathan Kuminga. That those 3 dudes can make some stuff happen. I'm just,
They also got a big coming off the bench who's been playing really well.
Is Zachary Reese? Is he still playing, or did he get hurt for the season? I don't remember. I don't know if I.
One of them's out. One of them is out for sure.
Yeah. Somebody's definitely out. I know.
Weeks. Yeah. So, I mean, hey, man.
What's the matchup? What's the matchup you're looking forward to seeing tomorrow?
OG Anunoby and whoever he's matched up
Jalen
against.
Johnson.
I think OG Anunoby is going to be my player to watch. I see him dropping at least 30 in this game. Listen, I got us winning like 122-99. This game one. We're going to be at home, and we're going to be going nuts in MSG. That place is going to be rocking. They're literally the Atlanta Hawks are in their practice playing the organ to get prepared for this game. They are so spooky in the woods. When they get in MSG and the fans start barking at them and their knees are going to be shaking in the wind, I'm telling you, these guys are scared. The Hawks are afraid of the Knicks. They do not want to play us. I do not know why they dropped that last game of the season to see us, because guess what? When you're playing the organs in your practice to get prepared, the real organs are going to hit you in the chest and you're not going to know what to do. It's going to psych you out even more. Listen, I can't wait to see the Garden fans getting in these Atlanta Hawks face. Oh, you guys wanted to see us? You wanted to see us? Yeah, right. You guys are going to see now.
I ain't mad at it.
Go down.
I ain't mad at it, Joe. I will tell you this, though. And I've said it already. My key matchup number 1 is Karl Anthony Towns versus whoever. But if Karl Anthony Towns is quiet in this series, it's going to be a long series for the Knicks. I'll tell you right now.
Well, listen, we don't win if he has that.
Right.
You know, we got
Cat is he's the way, bro. I'm telling you, Cat. If there's ever a time where y'all say, "Hey, we should be playing through Cat," Cat is the man. Cat is the man in this series. This is the guy. He should be taking control of this series. I don't know. We'll talk about other series later.
Even the first play of the game running through him.
Yeah, no, everything. Cat should be featured. The Knicks should have a game plan to get Cat going. Even if you go away from him, Cat's got to be the main focal point. Even if you try other things, you got to continue to go back to Cat. You got to keep Cat involved this whole series because that is the answer. No matter what Atlanta does, Atlanta is they're a decent sized team, but they're actually a small when it comes to bigs. They don't got the bigs to deal with Cat. This is where we win.
They have athleticism on their side, but that's about it.
They got athleticism, but I think the size. This is where Cat can do it.
And Mitchell Robinson's going to be
realizing he can operate in the post, and he's got the mismatch, he's got the advantage, and he draws that second defender, and leaves the weak side open and gives a little dish to Mikal Bridges. Easy 2 points all day. He draws so much attention to that side that it's opening up lanes for other players, and it's getting other people involved. Like Mikal Bridges is going to be unlocked in this series. You watch.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, listen. I'm with you, brother. So your prediction for the series is what? How many games?
He said sweep. Joe is going.
I just wanted to hear it again.
Yeah, man. I'm serious. Listen, it's the Hawks.
Hey, man. To your mouth, to God's ears, man. That's from your mouth to God's ears. Let's hope that's the truth.
Okay. 4-0 sweep, baby. Let's get it. Let's go.
Uh-oh.
I'm hyped, yo. I can't wait for this game tomorrow, man. I can't wait. And, yo, if whoever's going to the game tomorrow, you guys better get in these Atlanta Hawks face. They wanted to see us at the end of the day. You know?
Yeah,
we're gonna hear some stories. You wait. We're gonna hear something. Something's gonna happen.
I hope you're right, brother. I hope you're right. Listen, a 4-game sweep would be incredible. I don't think the Knicks will be able to do that. I think it might at least go 5. Because
let me ask you this: Why do you think we won't be able to sweep them, Ron?
Because
why do you think that?
I do think that the Atlanta Hawks are a better team without Trae Young. I think they've learned how to play better team basketball when he's not on the floor. And I also think because they know that they don't have one guy that controls the ball and somebody they have to rely on scoring for them, they got to move the ball. They got to get everybody involved to be effective. And when they're playing the New York Knicks, they know they got to score. They got to score to keep up with us.
They're a good transition team. They are. You know what I mean? And they're a top assist team as well. But when it comes to offensive rebounding and just, I don't know, just overall offensive power. And I know we're a little weak on the perimeter defense for the 3 points, but as long as we can keep those rebounds and we're getting those second chance opportunities with Mitchell Robinson and we're playing the double big lineup and there's nothing that they can do because we're just overpowering. I mean, they got like a couple 6'10" guys that they use, but the only one I see them using is Okongwu.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I just think we're gonna have the mismatches most of the series. So
yeah, no, I listen. If we come to play and we take care of business every game, like no quarters off, you know what I mean? Because that's the problem with the Knicks. Sometimes they take the first quarter off or first half.
That third quarter.
You know? If we take care of business and just play hard each and every quarter, like always have a chance to win the quarter, Knicks can sweep. That's how good they can be if they play that way. But, you know, we'll see. Maybe the playoffs is here, and I don't want to be one of those guys that says this because people keep saying, like, you Knicks fans think the Knicks are just going to hit a switch. I kind of do feel like because the playoffs is here. I think they are. Ron. I mean, kind of. I do.
We're trending up right now, you know?
Yeah.
The team that everyone's been waiting for all season showed up in the last 3 games. We're here. We're ready to go, man. I'm telling you.
I'm with you,
and
Joe.
Listen, I know you brought up Trae Young, too. And I'm going to bring this point up, and I'm going to be out of here.
All right.
I don't know how you feel about this, but Trae Young, listen, this dude's got to keep his P's and Q's to himself. You're on the Wizards now. You're not on the Hawks anymore. I don't know if you guys heard about what Trae Young had to say about what he used to do in Madison Square Garden on Twitter. But
No, I didn't hear.
Hey.
Listen, I will tell you one thing. I kind of put certain players and people in a box. Stephen A's in a box. You know,
Yeah, you got to.
Trae Young is in a box too. I don't want to hear anything he has to say. All that stuff that he did at the Garden didn't keep him in Atlanta. He got shipped up out of there. So I don't care what he has to say.
There, man.
Forget Trae.
Yeah,
Rayford Trae Young. Forget that dude. Anyway, Joe, thanks as always for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
Have a great night
you
and
guys have
sleep
a good.
good.
All right?
Sleep good, man, because you know tomorrow is Knicks basketball. Let's go.
We're going in tomorrow, man. Yo, salute SKF Nation, man. Anybody going to the game tomorrow, make sure you're loud in there, getting these guys' faces, let them know where they're at.
Yes,
Amen.
sir. All right, Joe. Take care, brother.
All right, man. Later.
All right. Well, listen, man, that's an optimistic Knicks fan, and we need that because listen, you know, you got to have the positive energy. Got to have it.
Yeah, listen to from his mouth to God's ears. That's what it is.
Let's make it happen, basketball.
I'm down for a sweep. I'm cool with it.
Let's go. First off, I want to say shout out to everybody who joined in tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. We normally don't do this on a Friday night, but it was a special playoff episode. Playoffs start tomorrow. John was available. We make it
still awake.
Yeah, he was still awake. We make it happen. Shout out to everybody on X. Shout out to everybody on the tube. Shout out to Nat on Facebook. What up, Nat? How you doing? Shout out to all you lovely people out there. D-Rex is in the building. I see you, D-Rex. Appreciate you as always. Doughboy, you know who you are. All the Die Pistons. You know what I said. Such a crazy name, bro. Chris Gotti's in the building. Salute, Chris. And just shout out to everybody, man. Thank you guys as always for showing the love and continue to support. Please smash the like button if you haven't already done so, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. So, as always, we get to this part of the show. I know it's tears, it's cries. Yes, it's the final part of the show. It's the last words.
John, it's yawning. It's yawning.
Your last words, my brother.
Outside of my yawn, it's been a pleasure being with you, Ron, tonight. I'm already at my last,
yeah, I know. John goes to bed early, gets up super early. He does what he has to do. He's super dad. He's sports dad. I can't.
Gotta be.
You're the guy, bro. You're the guy.
Anyway, man, it's like always, man. It's always a pleasure being on with you. Appreciate all of you for tuning in. As always, stay safe out there. Stay blessed, and looking forward to the next one. Whenever that may be.
Whenever.
But
right.
Hopefully soon.
Shout out to King Ribby. I see you, Ribby. And also, guys, listen, if anybody's tuning in right now and missed the show, please go back and watch it. Now, this show was cut up into two pieces, right? So you'll see that we started a show. It was about 20 minutes. And then I had to cut the show because somehow there was a double of me. You guys couldn't see it, but I could hear an echo and it was messing up. It was distorting the sound. So I had to stop the show and create it again. So if you want to see where it started, you click on one episode, watch about 18 minutes, and then you click on the second part, which is where we are at now. And that'll be longer. It'll be about 40 minutes or more, whatever, to watch the rewind gang. You know what I mean? But anyway, thanks, guys. Once again, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still Knicks fans, we'll be back again, whether it be on impromptu Friday nights for a playoff edition SKF Weekly with myself and John, or tomorrow. There's still going to be a show tomorrow at 11:30. Know the Ledge. We're going to get you right and get in any last minute talks right before the game at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Remember, 6 p.m. tomorrow night, Knicks versus Hawks. Or you can also catch me on Monday nights. Maybe John's available, maybe he's not, but we'll be holding it down either way for SKF Weekly at 9 p.m. So definitely tune in for that. I want to thank you guys as always for always supporting, showing love, and continue to be solid fans. You know why? Because all the stuff we're talking about, the draft stuff, the players, Giannis here and Giannis not here, Cat, all this stuff, Jalen Brunson, y'all talking about him sharing the ball. Through it all, we are still Knicks fans. We here for it all, baby. Let's keep it going. Y'all guys be good, and if you can't be good at it. Take care. Have a great rest of your night. Tomorrow, Knicks basketball playoffs are here. Madison Square Garden. Let's get it. Let's
go.
Get these Hawks out of here, baby. Let's go. We out. Take care, y'all.
New York Knicks. First. Go Knicks.
We can finally, start playing, man. So much talk this whole summer. It's felt like so long because we've had so much to talk about. At times it's been kind of slow, but we've been talking, right? But we've actually had a really good offseason for this New York Knicks team, and it's been very active. There's been a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, Knicks family, we in the building. I am the Objective Fan from the Objective Knicks Fan channel. And I'm going to give a big salute to Ron and John from Still Knicks Fans.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, Knicks family, I'm Stephanie, a.k.a. Blood
No
Sports. We are still Knicks.
What's going on, everybody? It's your girl, Lady and the Chef, from Two Knicks Chicks Podcast. Still a Knicks fan.
What's good, party people in the place to be? It's your main man.
What's up, everybody? This is Steve Lodge 21 at Two Knicks Chicks Podcast, and I'm still a Knicks fan.
Yo, this is your boy Sim from Nothing But Knicks. Through all the struggles, through all the heartache and pain, ladies and gentlemen, I am still a Knicks fan.
Peace, y'all. This is Apollo Reed from the Garden Knicks crew. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm still a Knicks fan.
I'm still here. We're still here. Still Knicks fans. It's a fandom. It's a lifestyle.